The final homestand of the season begins tonight for the St. Louis Cardinals as they play host to the Washington Nationals. Game 1 of 3 on Fox Sports Midwest. A few hours ago, Mike Matheny, the Cards manager, meeting with the assembled media prior to game number 1. And for Mike Matheny, it is back-to-back seasons in guiding the St. Louis Cardinals to postseason play. National League all-time for 2 full seasons to begin their managerial careers. It's Larry Dierker, Bob Brenly, and now Mike Matheny. Exclusive list, back-to-back first seasons at the helm to guide their teams to the postseason. And welcome to Cardinals Baseball. With my partner tonight, Rick Horton, I'm Dan McLaughlin. All 3 games on Fox Sports Midwest with all the injuries and the different things that go along with this season that comes along for a manager. Well done by Mike Matheny.
Yeah, the players get credit, and they should, but maybe it's about time we gave Mike Matheny a little bit more credit and maybe a little bit more love for the National League Manager of the Year. He has had to overcome losing his closer, and he's also been winning with a lot of young players.
All right, so Mike Matheny has his lineup set to go here in Game 1 of this series. It's Adam Wainwright getting the call. We'll talk about Waino when we come back. Number 18, but back on April 23rd, he was dominant in a game against the Washington Nationals. Mike Matheny pulled him after 8 1/3. The move paid off. Wainwright in 8 1/3 had 9 strikeouts.
9 strikeouts, and the Cardinals actually swept that series against the Nationals. They weren't playing very well at the time, but they are one of the best clubs in all of baseball over the last 6 weeks. Wainwright is going to have to be sharp.
It is Wainwright. Tanner Roark, who is 7-0, ERA just over 1. A closer look at Matt Carpenter, Matt Holliday. Those two coming up. Matt Holliday is out of the lineup, late scratch. More on that in just a moment.
Sure, the fountains go red. The Fox Sports Midwest girls were there. So was Rick Horton. Many playoff memories have been had over the last handful of years here in downtown St. Louis. Some of the best we've ever seen back in 2011. The remarkable World Series run of the Cardinals. The historic home run of David Freese. You know there's more to come in 2013. Difference makers, the highest average in the month of September in the National League. Matt Carpenter at .398, Holiday at .368, and Holiday takes a closer look at the remarkable run of Matt Carpenter in his career.
Matt Carpenter was the 399th overall pick in the 2009 draft. A long shot, an afterthought. 5 years later, after redefining his game, he started to rewrite the Redbird record books. Never played second base before? No problem. Never hit leadoff before? No problem. How about leading the league in hits, runs, and double plays turned? No problem. He's gone from reserve to renown. He can set the table, and he can clear it. He is the human rally.
Carpenter, deep right, at the wall, gone! The All-Star puts the Cardinals on top, and a charge into that baby. Two-run shot for Carpenter.
Some say Carpenter is only as good as his tools. Fortunately for Matt Carpenter, he's got plenty of great tools to choose from. Whether it's working the count, drilling a double into the gap, or turning yet another double play, Carpenter has built himself a season to remember.
times are waiting, grab some buds. See your Mid-America Chevy dealer or log on to STLchevy.com. Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers, #1 for quality tires and expert auto service. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by Steak and Shake. Steak and Shake, just no equal. Well, you know, it's getting late. Nightfall is upon us before our first pitch. Along with Rick Horton, Jim Hayes, Pat Paris, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Al Roboski, you saw him on the pregame show. He'll be part of the postgame. We turn to Ricky's Toyota keys to the game.
We'll start with their starter. His name is Tanner Roark. He went to the University of Illinois, and he's been a phenom. He's 7-0. The Cardinals need to figure him out quickly and jump on him quickly. Home sweet home. The Cardinals play very well here at Busch Stadium. They're 21 games over 500, and I know this Redbird team is very, very happy to play in front of the home crowd again.
Live look at Adam Wainwright as he gets set for baseball here tonight. A look at Davey Johnson's lineup. Span, Zimmerman, who's been on a tear. Worth, Harper, Desmond, LaRoche, Ramos, Rendon, and Roark, who is 3 for 10. The Cardinals defensively, brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Robinson, Jay, and Beltran in the outfield. Freeze, Descalso on the left side. Carpenter, Adams on the right side. Yadi's behind the plate. Back spasm is the word on Matt Holliday. Late scratch from the lineup. Our Kia starter is Adam Wainwright, looking for win number 18.
17-9, 2.98 earned run average for Wainwright. He beat Colorado on Wednesday, went 7 2/3 innings in that game, had 8 strikeouts, did give up 3 runs, but picked up his 97th career victory.
Look at Mike Matheny, who we highlighted in the Open, back-to-back seasons, guiding his club to the postseason. Adam Wainwright, a real key tonight will be what he does in the first inning. Look at this, earned runs allowed, 14 in the first innings of home games, but the rest of the game is when he settles in the 1.63 ERA.
A little odd, too, that Wainwright has that issue here at home. He has a very specific warm-up routine. It doesn't take him very long to get loose. That's kind of a holdover from his days out of the bullpen. He can get loose in a hurry, but for some reason he's had troublesome first innings, and this is a very potent Nationals offense. They're playing very well, Dan, and it starts with the guy leading off, Denard Span.
It's been a good pickup for them. 281 average with 4 home runs and 47 RBIs. You see the on-base percentage at .329. It's Span, Zimmerman, and Worth here in the first inning. You think about the Washington Nationals, they got hot, but yet running out of time. If not, you're looking at maybe the version of the 2011 Cardinals.
Yeah, they may have gotten hot just a little bit too late.
Yeah. 73 degrees, our game time temperature. 1-0 pitch by Wainwright is hit out of play. .33rd start of the year for Adam Wainwright. 2.98 ERA. You know he'd love to finish with an ERA below 3. Last outing against Colorado, very similar to what he's done at times at home. Gave up runs early, then settled in. 7 2/3 as he struck out 8 against the Rockies.
Davey Johnson, his final year as a manager, and I know there's part of him that wants to continue doing it, but he's already kind of made that point, and so have the Nationals, that this is his last year, and they're really not a lot of talk yet about who's going to replace Davey Johnson, but the club certainly responding here of late.
Hey, it's not uncommon for a player to say I'm retiring and then come back. Man, you never know if Davey Johnson could get the year of Mike Rizzo again and say, look, I want to have one more shot at it. Finished up on a great uptick heading into spring training of 2014.
So far, Rizzo does not appear to be budging on that.
Nope. The 2-2.
Span, by the way, had a 29-game hitting streak snapped on Thursday, and you talk about him being an important acquisition for the Nationals. They have a really good lineup from top to bottom. They have a lot of power. They lead the National League in home runs, decent speed.
2-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Doesn't break. Taken outside and high, and it's 3-2. Span with that good speed at the top of this lineup. Crowd still filing in. We're expecting close to 40,000 here tonight. Slapped the other way and a base hit past the diving David Freese. Backhanded by Robinson. And Span is held to a single.
You would normally think a ball hit like that by a guy that can run is going to be a double. He just slaps it inside the bag. But Shane Robinson was playing towards the left field line. He got to that ball quickly and kept him from getting to second base. Very good defensive play by Shane Robinson. One of those things that goes unnoticed.
Outfield is straight away and very deep. 26 homers this year for Ryan Zimmerman. 11 home runs, 16 RBIs in the month of September. A little bigger lead this time and a 1-0 pitch. Zimmerman hits a high fly ball. Right center. Jay with room. Makes the catch. Span draws a throw right on the money from John Jay. One away.
I think John Jay's been throwing better in the last month and a half. He has 4 outfield assists now. I thought Span might test him there. 19 stolen bases for Span, so maybe he'll figure on trying Yadier Molina with Jason Worth at the plate. Worth, by the way, does not hit Wainwright well. 4 for 20.
Another solid year for Jason Worth. Player of the month in July of the National League. That pitch taken low, the cutter. Since he came off the DL back in early June, .336 average with 19 homers. He has been one of the guys, along with Zimmerman, jump-starting this offense to at least get them in the conversation of postseason play. One ball, one strike. Been around a long time now. Came up with Toronto in 2002. Years with the Dodgers and the Phillies. Strike 2. Playing in year number 3 with the Washington Nationals. Out of Springfield, Illinois, Jason Worth. You see that body now, and tall, slender guy, but for the longest time he was a catcher. Signed as a catcher and then moved to the outfield. One and two the count. Throw down at first. Oh, they almost got him. Span back in safely. How about those hands from Yadier Molina?
We saw the opportunity. He saw the extended lead by Span with the ball in the dirt, and after he picked it cleanly, thought it was worth the effort.
Two and two the count. On deck, it's Bryce Harper. The 2-2 lifted down the right field line, and that's out of play.
Cardinals had his stepfather in their system for a while, and he was a catcher. Dennis Worth actually played with Dennis a couple of years in Louisville, AAA, but he also is related to Dick Schofield. Played 19 seasons in the big leagues.
Nationals, the reigning, defending National League champs. Braves have clinched their first division since 2005 to take over the crown. 2-2 is hit out to deep left off the bat of Jason Worth, and this is way out of here. 2-0 Washington. Again, those first inning runs have been an issue for Adam Wainwright. 2-0 Washington as that curveball was hung, and Worth made no mistake about it, drilled it out to left.
There's the downward rotation. A little bit above knee high, but it was not a sharp curveball. And it looked as if Worth was actually looking for that pitch, certainly guarding against it. You know, when you face Wainwright, you're going to see that curveball quite a bit. He got one he could handle.
Nearly put it into Big Mac land. Here is Bryce Harper. 439 feet, the measured distance of the home run. One-0 pitch to Harper. A strike on the outside corner.
Never did hear the distance of Matt Adams' home run in Milwaukee. I'm wondering if you heard that. He had one out in the right center field.
436, I believe, is what it was.
I thought it might be 450.
Yeah,
that
I was thinking 5.
Bomb. 6, 7.
It's interesting that at times, apparently, in Milwaukee, the opposing teams, when they hit a home run, if it's not asked about, you won't hear the distance. And then many times it'll come back shorter than what some of the so-called experts like yourself think.
So there was a discount going on there.
Very well could have been. Very well could have been. Milwaukee is playing the Atlanta Braves tonight, leading 1-0. Cincinnati, bottom of the third, leading the Mets 2-1. Pittsburgh, top of the second, leading Chicago 1-0. Harper hitting .279. Pulls it just over the Cardinal dugout. 20 home runs, 56 RBIs. Been dealing with a knee issue basically all season long.
Mentioned Worth has not hit Wainwright very well in his career, although he certainly handled that curveball well. Bryce Harper, on the other hand, 5 for 8 against Wainwright.
2-2. Jason Worth's former team, they're going to keep that collection of older players and pitchers together. One of them, Roy Halladay. And Halladay had to leave his game after 3 batters. Ricky topped out at 83 miles an hour. And Ryan Sandberg has just been given a 3-year extension to manage the Phillies. 2-2 is chopped to the right side, and that rolls foul.
Wainwright's certainly going to have to work hard here tonight against this Nationals club. In fact, this entire series, good pitching. Cardinals are going to have to face Roark, who's 7-0, and then Gonzalez tomorrow, Zimmerman in the day game. All 3 of these pitchers pitching very well. Their bullpen is in good shape. And in the middle of this lineup, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys in a row with 20 or more home runs.
That's right. Cardinals had that last year. The 2-2. Little grounder hit to the right side, taken there by Carpenter. 2 down. It's been a lengthy first inning here for Wainwright. 23 pitches, and there's the remnants of the football game on Saturday. Jim Hayes will have more on that, but you can see where the 10-yard line is. Actually had to fly in a lot of the sod from Denver, Colorado, to replace the turf. Cardinals took some extra grounders in the outfield just to see how it was moving, and some of the players talking about how fast it is out there. So we'll see how it plays this homestand. Ian Desmond hitting .286. Hits it to David Freese. A 2-run shot by Jason Worth, his 24th of the year. After a half inning, Nationals on top. books here at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. And a look at the lineup for St. Louis. It's Carpenter, Jay, and Beltran. Then Adams, Molina, Freeze, Descalso, Robinson, and the pitcher, Adam Wainwright. Cardinals defense, as you saw earlier, now we switch things over to the Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's Nationals defense. Harper, Span, and Worth in the outfield. Zimmerman, Desmond, Rendon, LaRoche along the infield. Ramos is behind the plate. This young right-hander's been awfully good.
4 of his wins came out of the bullpen, 3-0 as a starter.
Matt Holliday just appeared in the dugout, again nursing back spasms right before the game last night. And apparently that's the case here before game number 1. Matt Carpenter hitting .324 and playing in game number 152 of his season tonight. 123 runs, 54 doubles. Leads the club in walks. 4 away from 200 hits, 3 away from 300 total bases. The list goes on and on. That's tapped foul. Boy, it was great to see Mike Shannon in the booth doing his normal pregame hit here on Fox Sports Midwest. And working on the radio side tonight with Mike Shannon is John Rooney. But there he is, the longtime voice of the Cardinals, Mike Shannon.
Great to have the Moon Man back. He was in rare form as always. There's just something missing when Mike is not around. I know Cardinal fans think Cardinal baseball when they hear Mike's voice, and great to have him back. Again, great to have him on our pregame show, and he looks good.
Two pitch. Count runs full on Matt Carpenter. You mentioned it earlier. Roark is from the University of Illinois. He was 14-2 for 2 seasons. Second team All Big Ten. And a leadoff walk. What else is new? Matt Carpenter.
Roark lost 17 games last year in AAA. 17 games. More losses than anybody in the minor leagues. I mean, that's how bad his year was. He was traded from Texas a few years ago and has been developing through their minor league system. And the book on Roark is nothing crazy great about any of his pitches, but he just has the perfect mound presence. He just thinks he's going to get guys out. Maybe he thinks he's better than he is, and I say that in a positive way. He just has great confidence on the mound and mental toughness for a guy that has a little above average curveball, basically an average major league fastball.
1 ball, 1 strike on John Jay.
What a pitch maker.
And then you look at the numbers and you say, how's he doing it? 7-0, beat the Braves in his last outing. And in 41 2/3 major league innings this year, ERA is barely over 1.
The common refrain as the Nationals go around and people see him pitch is, how's he doing it? That's the question, because there's nothing eye-popping about his stuff. But the Nationals folks that I talked to said that if the Nationals were to get into the playoffs, and it's kind of a long shot right now, he's not really their 5th starter anymore. He might be their 4th or their 3rd. In fact, he's pitching better than Strasburg right now.
Now that is hard to imagine. One-two pitch to Jay. Liner out to left. The catch is made by Harper. Bryce Harper, by the way, tweeted out earlier this afternoon what a privilege and a thrill it is to come play baseball in St. Louis. He said it's unlike most of the places that you play in throughout Major League Baseball. High praise from one of the game's young stars. I've always enjoyed watching him, albeit brief, but The guy plays the game hard.
Pretty average year for him. Made 6 errors in the outfield, 279. That's not bad. It's still the big leagues, but you kind of expect big numbers from him. Just 56 RBIs.
So here is Beltran, and he looks at a fastball. 0-2. Check swing did not go.
And don't get me wrong, average big league numbers, that's still a nice contribution to have. The numbers of Harper, but you kind of got the sense that there was Mike Trout in the American League and Bryce Harper in the National League, and they're going to be the future big fly stars in the game, and that hasn't happened yet for Harper.
Trout, different story. What a year he's had. In some ways better than his rookie season. Now he has been dealing, I mentioned it earlier, leg issues, knee issues. That's part of the issue that they said has been with him at the plate, just his base. 2-2 pitch here to Beltran. Pulled foul right near the end zone.
You can think of one Cardinal batter that you'd like to see get hot right now, and that's assuming that Matt Holliday stays hot and Matt Carpenter stays hot, because they're swinging the bat well. But with Alan Craig out, you just like to see Carlos Beltran get untracked again. He's getting close. He had a couple of good at-bats in Milwaukee, but not quite there.
Waves at that pitch. Strikeout, first of the evening for Roark.
Got him to chase. Just off the outside corner. Late movement.
Remember the name of Christian Guzman? Shortstop, switch hitter, good speed. That's the trade that involved Roark. Acquired in 2010 from Texas for Guzman.
Fans who've been attentive to the Washington Nationals also may wonder where Danny Espinosa is. When we saw him in Washington, he was hitting about 170, and it didn't get much better for him. They sent him down to AAA, hit about 230 there, and he's home.
0-1 pitch. Adams up the middle, base hit. Carpenter makes the turnaround second, on his way to third. First Cardinal hit of the night off the bat of Adams up the middle.
Matt Carpenter runs the bases well. 123 runs scored. He ignites the offense, and Matt Adams has powered the offense of late.
Two outs, runners at the corners for Molina. See Washington Nationals, their uniforms, the patch in memory of those killed at the Washington Navy Yard shootings on September 16th. They'll keep that on throughout the season. Oh, 1 pitch. Tapped foul, 0-2. Had a game canceled, then they played the doubleheader, and those patches will be worn until the end of the year. Two outs, runners in scoring position. St. Louis at a ridiculous mark of 299.
Nationals with 2 doubleheaders within a week after having rain. Forced to play 2 yesterday. They split the doubleheader, and you just wonder what that's done to their bullpen a bit.
Fought it off into center, base hit. Carpenter scores. 2 outs, runners in scoring position. And Molina comes through. It's 2-1.
We might be able to round that number up to 300 now. Been a strength all season long by the Cardinals. Yachty gets jammed. Roark was ahead in the count, and he just fists it into center field. Very good at bat for Molina. RBI number 72.
It's now 124 runs scored by Matt Carpenter.
And by the way, Roark was Rourke for his first couple of starts until his grandmother was watching one of the Nationals telecasts and called and corrected everybody. That's not how he says his name. I guess he was going to keep it a secret. Nice to have a 10 of grandmas, isn't it? They're the best.
You bet. There's a broken bat hit to the right side. LaRoche bobbled it just a bit, but with Yachty running, had plenty of time. 2-out RBI base hit by Yachty. It's 2-1. Best home record against any opponent since 2008. They are 12-2 against the Washington Nationals. And that's our first bank, first take. The Nats, though, come in riding high, having won 5 straight road series.
Record of 32-16 in August and September. They will not be easy in this series. They're very close to being eliminated. They've got an outside chance. They've got to catch either the Pirates or the Cincinnati Reds, and it's certainly not going to be easy. They need a miracle. Yes, they do. But they almost have to win out. But give them credit. They're not giving up at all. They're playing hard at the end. Very hard.
Been a frustrating year for LaRoche. Hitting just .239, got off to the slow start.
I cannot think of a streakier hitter in baseball than Adam LaRoche. I'd have to think about it, but
off the top of my head,
he
I'm
defines
with you there.
that, doesn't he?
Yeah, and think about the Aprils that he has. Very, very slow starter. That pitch is popped up. LaRoche and Wainwright were teammates in the minor leagues for a number of years with the Atlanta Braves. I believe he struck him out 4 times in the previous meeting. Team record this season, up and down, but look at what Washington has been able to do. Bottom left-hand portion of that graphic, 32-16. That's the best record in the National League in that time frame.
After being very average the first 4 months of the season, they've been much better than average. Cardinals have been pretty consistent, and they've had a race all season long. I think that's been part of the fun for this pennant race, is you've got the Cardinals, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati within 5 games pretty much all year long.
Throw that baseball out. Ball 1 on Wilson Ramos, who's hitting .280, 15 home runs, 56 RBIs this year. Good production from their catcher spot. Part of that consistency that you speak of, Rick, is the fact that you have to win on the road. Only the Dodgers have had a better road record in the National League than St. Louis. Cardinals finished up on the road 5 games above the 500 mark.
You know, it's interesting. We look at the Cardinals starting pitchers and we have a very kind of definitive thought that those guys pitch better at home than on the road, but yet the Cardinals still have had a winning record on the road. That's a bit odd to me. You think of Shelby Miller and Lance Lynn as guys that have pitched better, and Adam Wainwright for that matter, pitched very well here at Busch Stadium. Somebody's winning on the road.
Collectively, you've got Cincinnati, Atlanta, LA, Pittsburgh, playoff teams. Cardinals are 10-16 on the road against those clubs. Played 500 at Cincinnati. That was the best mark. And I know you and I have been playing GM and manager up here, as we do every night, and trying to figure out this playoff roster. Very intriguing what may happen if you head to the division series and how many pitchers you've got. What happens with your bench, what goes on with your bullpen. Put it this way, they've got good options.
They really do, and looking at the 25 best players for a particular series, and it may change from series to series, which you're allowed to do. You're allowed to change your roster, and of course the Cardinals are thinking about winning this game now and trying to win the division, but it won't be long before Mike Matheny and John Mozeliak are going to have to get their heads together and make that decision within a week.
Anthony Rendon, who was filling in for Zimmerman earlier this season, now at second base, digs in with 2 down. So this is what the Cardinals have done. 5-5, the best road mark that they've had outside of the 3 games with the Dodgers. They went 2-1 against LA. Winless in Atlanta. Very tough series, hard fought. And the one that really stands out like a sore thumb is Pittsburgh. 3-7. Burnett, Liriano have dominated at home against St. Louis. Rendon is hitting .263, 7 home runs, 34 RBIs. Considered at the beginning of this year one of their top prospects.
I believe we saw his first major league hit in Washington, and when we first saw him he looked a little bit overmatched. He was late on everything and did not look comfortable at the plate. He's 8th in the order here, but average at .263. He's made a contribution to this team.
Making a transition. Third is his natural spot to second base.
Well, one of the reasons they were bringing him up to the big leagues is to see what kind of talent he had and could he make it at third, because they were concerned about Zimmerman and his defense.
That's a former Gold Glover you're talking about too.
But well chronicled the throwing problems that he's had after his shoulder problems. But all the talk now is that Zimmerman has proven he is the third baseman next year, period, because he's played very, very well again.
And a high strike. Rendon pulled out on strikes. And we had football here, college. Salukis taking on Southeast Missouri State, Southern Illinois, Southeast Missouri State, Jim Hayes on Saturday. So what is the field conditions? What are they right now?
As best as can be expected right now, Dan. You were talking about the sod they brought in from Colorado. How about 50,000 square feet? And really, nonstop work by Bill Finley and the grounds crew to get this field ready. There are two areas of concern, as you mentioned. The outfield might play very fast, but because they didn't have time to roll the field like they normally would, they're also concerned that the seams might create a bad bounce or two. Not ideal conditions, but considering the amount of time they had to get it ready, they're hoping for the best.
What were the players saying about it, Jim, specifically after BP?
They were saying it was fine. They didn't see any problems, but they hadn't gone around and inspected every inch of it. But first glance, they said it looked good.
And in talking with some of the players, they mentioned the speed of the outfield. Did you see that as well, being down there?
I saw a little bit during batting practice, but tough to tell the difference between BP and when it's actually in a game, so we'll have to see. But I know that's something that the Cardinals were concerned about, too. They saw that it was playing fast.
And a final question, Jim, with all the grass that they brought in, when will this finally, start to take shape and basically you'd have a one fluid piece of outfield grass out there to where you never would even notice a difference?
Well, I didn't major in horticulture, but from what the Cardinals were telling me, that this particular sod has really deep roots, and so it shouldn't take that long.
Thank you, Jim.
You got it.
Well, that's a pretty good answer for somebody that did not major in horticulture.
However, for a guy that is locked in and is tied in, as Jim Hayes is, just ask him. He would know the answer to that, and that's why I figured I'd bring up what I call a quote-unquote logical question.
I think you did fine, Jim.
He's the best. 2-2 stays fair. LaRoche race to the bag, and he's out.
Just barely.
May have gotten him on the tag and also the force at first base.
Just how close is it? Boom. Boom. LaRoche, a very good fielder. Nationals defense has made a lot of errors. They are 13th in fielding percentage. LaRoche not having a good year with the glove. He's got 11 errors, but a little surprising that the Nationals are having such trouble. Desmond and Espinosa at the beginning of the year were thought of as the best double play combination in the National League. Desmond has 19 errors, and Espinosa, though fielding very well, not with the club. Got sent out, was not recalled. Might see him next year.
Hit to the right side, racing to the bag. Robinson, and another close play. Out. I think I just heard Bryce Harper scream up here. That's a clown question, bro.
Watch the feed again. Boom, boom again.
Am I off base on that one or what? Is that someone else?
That was Bryce Harper who said that.
Hey, Danny Mac. That's a clown question, bro.
Don't know who he said that to, but I know he said that to a group of reporters. Got a lot of feedback, mostly negative, from that little outburst.
Green Thumb Hayes was all over it.
I'm sure we'll have follow-up reports throughout the week on the condition of the field.
Here's the 0-2, and Wainwright waves at it, strikes out. 2 strikeouts for Roark. the Shane Company cooler bag. Growth poster featuring Yanni on Saturday. Sunday, ticket voucher to a 2014 game. And also, you'll get the schedule provided by Shelter Insurance. And tickets still available. They've got the T-shirts. They've got the faces out. The Mike Shannon section here at the ballpark. Great to have Mike back.
Mike's seeing that on the monitor right now and enjoying every minute of that. Let's show it to him some more. There you go, Mike. There's your buddies. That's fun.
Can hear him laughing right now.
Big boy. You've not lived till you've played golf with Mike Shannon and you've gone out to dinner with Mike Shannon. Both of those experiences are worth writing in your diary.
It's taken low. Tanner Roark. 3 for 10 with an RBI. Pitcher spot here, then Span and Zimmerman. Ground ball that's hit to the left of Daniel Descalso.
Wainwright seems to have settled down after that 2-run home run he gave up to Jason Worth in the first inning. He's retired 6 straight as a strikeout. Really, no balls hit hard during that time. 3 infield ground outs, a little pop out.
Rick, really a blessing in disguise if you want to look at it. You're in the final week of the regular season. You have not clinched the division yet. And remember, in 2009, Cardinals clinched and then finished up by dropping 8 of their final 10 and then collapsed in the playoffs. The point being that at times you have momentum. And you're still playing to either get home field or win a division championship. But there's an edge to these games still for St. Louis, even though they are in postseason play.
I think the best example of a team falling flat is actually a World Series example of the Detroit Tigers. It happened to them twice. And it's because they clinched series early and had to wait around, and they just lost their offense. And there's certainly something to be said for that. And when you're clawing towards the end, and it's one of the things that the best division record does for you. In my mind, yeah, you want to win the division, but the Cardinals ought to be setting, in my mind, their sights higher than that. And maybe they're not thinking about that right now, but in my mind, you want to win every single game and try to catch the Atlanta Braves. A game and a half behind the Braves now. You're a game ahead of the Dodgers. So if those 3 teams on the top, for the sake of argument, win the division, and that's where it would be as of today, the Braves would have home field advantage throughout the playoffs. And that's a big deal with the numbers that we've talked about, the way all these teams have played on the road. The Braves don't play well on the road.
Braves are 30 above 500 at home. Into shallow left. Robinson. 2 outs.
And one
Since
reminder,
the home run, he has not given up a base hit or a walk.
And one reminder, Dan, about that best division record, and we've said it, but just for fans to have some clarity on it, if the Cardinals finish tied with either the Dodgers or the Braves, they lose because of the head-to-head. So they actually have to, Cardinals would have to finish better than the Dodgers and better than the Braves to get the home field advantage in the playoffs. And it's certainly possible. Just a game and a half with 6 to go. It could happen.
Here's Zimmerman. For argument's sake, if Pittsburgh or Cincinnati would catch St. Louis and you'd have a tie after the final game, they need to have to play that out.
Exactly. That is not best record during the year. It's not going to be decided by a tiebreaker. If you're going to win the division, you're going to have to do it on the field. And if all 3 teams tie, then I'm going to let you figure that out. You can get on the phone with Bud Selig and you all can figure out the best place to play those games and get back to me.
Adams flips to Wainwright. A 1-2-3 inning for Adam Wainwright. to you by Schnucks, your neighborhood hometown grocer. Go big at a participating Jack in the Box with Jack's really big chicken sandwich combos for only $3.99 plus tax.
Didn't know I could do that, did you?
No, your side job is impressive.
The art museum in the back, is it not?
Yep.
Of course I know, because that's me. I was there. Got in last night from Milwaukee, went over to the art museum. Just do that to unwind.
I mean this with all due respect. How does one become a juggler of fire? I mean, you don't come out of the womb saying, well, I'm ready to juggle fire. I just, all due respect, I couldn't do it, but how does that happen?
That's a good question.
Most kids say, I want to be a firefighter, policeman, Major League Baseball player, teacher.
No, I'm going to juggle it.
I'm going to go ahead and just put my body and everything else at risk by juggling fire. Carpenter lines out to left. Fighting the lights, it's Harper. Makes the catch, and Matt Carpenter is 0 for 1 with a run scored and a walk. You seem to have the answers for everything, you and Hayes, so I figured I'd ask you two.
No, I think that's a Jim Hayes question if I've ever heard one. See?
Oh,
listen,
good.
Listen.
Jim, go right ahead.
Dan, it happens this way. Early in life, you have a love of juggling, so you start juggling things. Then eventually, you get to the point where you can set them on fire, and you're juggling fire. There you go.
That's deep.
So, Jim, let's go back to the turf. John Jay lined out to left, and he is 0 for 1. Here's a ground ball that's hit to short. Ian Desmond. 2 away.
I got another answer to this.
That's dangerous. The other one was not nearly as dangerous as that, Rick.
A cord around the neck.
You.
Well, I believe that he was an ex-reliever, because that's the kind of stuff you do in the bullpen when you're sitting around talking. And
he's a lefty.
I'm sure of that. I have no doubt that that man's left-handed. But I think he was an ex-reliever. Sit out in the I learned how to juggle out in the bullpen. What else have you got to do?
Base hit by Beltran. Let's turn to the AT Twitter poll. Who was your favorite leadoff hitter from 85 to 2012? Vince,
wow.
Vina, Eckstein, Schumacher. All very popular players while in St. Louis.
I have a prediction here that Vince Coleman will get less than 5% of the votes.
Is he watching?
No, no. The reason, I believe that a lot of our Twitter crowd does not remember 1985. Tends to trend younger.
Well, there's a lot of older folks that have no idea about 1985 either. There's a lot of decades that have been a blur. Just ask Al.
That's a long time. So I'm guessing Vince Coleman is going to get less than 5%.
Here's the 0-1.
There's some good answers in that. All 4 are good answers. Vina, scrappy player. David Eckstein, his brother, by the way, was the hitting coach for the Nationals. Got fired during the season, and he was replaced by Rick Shue, longtime big leaguer. David was just a feisty kind of player. And Skip Schumacher, fan favorite.
I'd say Eckstein is going to be high on that list.
I think so.
Very popular when he was here. 1-2 pitch. Now, when you think of a true leadoff man, though, Vince Coleman, you know, you're talking about speed and scoring runs, the steals. If you're looking for just a leadoff guy, I think out of the 4, he's your pick.
Well, he's my pick because he got me to play in October twice, along with some other guys that helped make that happen for me. So
running
I must say I have a kind of a selfish answer to that, but he was terrific.
2-2. Big rip by Adams.
I recall very vividly where I was standing when Vince had the tarp incident. Actually talking to Oral Hershiser down the right field line. It started to rain. They started to put the tarp away. Vince caught his toe underneath the tarp. It was a very scary moment.
2-2 is hit in the air, slicing down the left field line, and in the seats, out of play. Base hit by Adams. First time up. Never know. Vince Coleman healthy maybe changes the complexion of that postseason. A 2-2 pitch to Adams. Good at bat here. Adams now at 274 at bats. 16 home runs, 50 RBIs. 8 pitches seen in this at bat. A 2-2. And Adams hits it out to deep left. Harper on the move and makes the catch. Nice play by Bryce Harper and that liner off the bat of Matt Adams. So looking at those magic numbers, playoff contenders, Nationals mathematically still alive and leading this ball game 2-1 here in the top of the fourth. Not an easy series, as you talked about, with the pitching matchups Cardinals have against Washington as Worth hits it out of play. 2-run homer his first time up. But when you look at the rotation they have, Roark, talked about it earlier, he's been very good. Gio Gonzalez going in game 2. He's 4-1 in his last 5. Jordan Zimmerman will be trying to become a 20-game winner on Wednesday. 0-2 pitch, and Worth a swing and a miss. Second strikeout for Wainwright.
Much better curveball than the one he threw Worth in the first inning. This one starts knee high, ends up lower, and it has a little sharper break to it. So he makes an adjustment. And really, you take that one pitch away from Wainwright in the first inning, and he's had a very, very good night. The base hit that Span had to get aboard to start the game, he just basically stuck his bat out. Nice piece of hitting, went the other way, but not a bad pitch from Wainwright. So really just one big mistake for Adams so far.
Set down 9 straight. Here's Bryce Harper, made a very good play in that line out off the bat of Adams moments ago. Seems to be running a lot better. To the count on Harper, grounded out to second, first time up. Ooh, he just missed on the outside corner. Next start for Wainwright would be over the weekend. Cardinals have an off day on Thursday. The Cubs will be in town beginning on Friday night.
By the way, Dan, you have been chastising, poking fun at, making fun of, abusing Jim Hayes. Take your pick.
What are you talking about? I asked him a question. He came back at me.
Wait till you hear the
bad ball by Jim.
Wait to hear the answer that he has between innings. He's going to be able to explain to us so we could pass along what happens if there's a 3-way tie for the division. Because Jim knows. He has researched it, and Jim knows.
If he's so confident in this research, he might as well just come on the air and tell us.
Well, he's going to pass it along. He's going to be a good teammate, and he's going to pass it along to you, and you're going to let the viewers know.
Basically, he's going to give you the information, and if he's wrong, then he doesn't have to lay claim to it. Here's a 3-2.
Now that's bad ball.
I know how Jim rolls. Tony West is behind us. He's agreeing. Tim Garcia just gave you a high five. Unbelievable. Old bad ball, green thumb Hayes. 3-2 pitch. They set up outside, and Harper spoils it. Breaking ball and pulled foul.
Bryce Harper has such good bat speed, good plate coverage. There's a lot of movement with the lower half of his body, but still keeps his hands back. Not a very still hitter at the plate.
3-2 pitch. Fights it off, and that's a base hit. He's hustling out of the box, and it's backhanded by Robinson. Wide turnaround first, and again, second time tonight. Shane Robinson has held a speedy base runner to only a single. The other one was Span to start the game.
Inside out swing. Harper running out of the box. He's quick. Looks up. He sees that Shane Robinson has done his job running it down. Another good route by Robinson. Got rid of it quickly. Nicely done.
Ian Desmond grounded out to third, first time up, looks at a pitch high. Cardinals will counter Gio Gonzalez tomorrow with Michael Wacha, and then on Wednesday Shelby Miller against Jordan Zimmerman. The Cardinals actually have 3 starters with a 3 ERA or below at home. I think Wacha was ineffective in his last start against the Rockies.
And I think the next 6 games, last 6 of this homestand, last 6 of the regular season, may answer some questions about what the Cardinals are going to do as far as postseason roster, who pitches where.
Lined into left center field. Over to get it, Robinson. Harper into third. Runners at the corners for Washington, and only 1 down. Back-to-back hits after Wainwright had sent down 9 straight.
Like a cutter from Wainwright that didn't cut much. It was down in the zone. Harper with good speed is able to go first to third.
Here's LaRoche. Corners are in. Adams holding it first. And the first pitch is a strike. I asked Wainwright after his start in Washington back in April. I said, did you call LaRoche? Do you strike him out that many times, game on the line? He said, we're really good friends, but you let that one rest for about 24 hours. Then you send the text or the phone call. Molina wants it in. Take it for his strike. 0-2.
Never struck out a friend 4 times. I wouldn't know what to do.
I'm sure it's always unique and different when you face a buddy or a former teammate.
Try really hard to lock in and realize that he's your opponent at that moment. Your friend for life, but your opponent at that moment. Frankly, it's an odd way to say it, Dan, but I really think the true nature of competition is you give your best to get the best out of the other guy, and his best makes you play your best. And competition doesn't have to be a kind of a win-lose proposition. I think it's a win-win proposition. It's you're at your best, you're forcing somebody else to be better.
1-2, could be a double play ball. Carpenter flips to second. On to first, hits a double play. 4-6-3. Not an easy double play, but it started by Carpenter. The turn by Descalso over to Adams. Off the bat of LaRoche. Nationals on top. It's 2-1. Collection of authentic postseason caps, the t-shirts, the jerseys, sweatshirts, and so much more. It's all at Cardinals.com. Cardinals trailing in this game 2-1. Big double play turn there by Carpenter. Descalso over to Matt Adams. That was not an easy double play.
Very well done, and the perfect pitch for that situation. You have a feeling in this game that runs are going to be critical, every single one. Pitchers have both settled down, 2-1 score, just 7 hits in the game, and you had a feeling that the Nationals could have put something together there. That double play is huge.
Here's Yachty hitting .316. Muscle a base hit into center field. It was a 2-out RBI. And that's strike one. Roark is the 6th rookie since 1921 to go 3-0 with an ERA under 1 and 13 plus strikeouts in his first 3 career starts. The 6th rookie since 1921 to do that. The last to do it, Fernando Valenzuela, back in 1981. So that's when you know you're in pretty exclusive company, when you're mentioning the rookie campaign of Fernando.
Fernando brought a little style to his rookie campaign. He was packing every ballpark he pitched in, and there was some economic kind of assessments done that said that he more than paid for his salary for the next couple of years just in that Fernando mania moment in his rookie season.
3rd strikeout for the right-hander. Budweiser Bash Fridays. It features prizes, music, and Ozzie Smith will be signing autographs beginning at 5:30 this Friday. Ozzie Smith, the Budweiser Bash this Friday. Here's David Freese. Ozzie has his big fundraiser coming up to benefit the PGA. One ball, one strike on Freese. Grounded into a fielder's choice his first time up.
Watching Roark working in his 4th inning here, you can kind of understand why people would say there's nothing special about him other than the fact that he just gets outs, works quickly, has a very confident demeanor on the mound, and attacks hitters. All pretty good things to say about a pitcher. Almost as if his mentality caught up to his stuff at one point. 17 losses a year ago, you'd think he probably wasn't very confident standing on the mound.
The 2-2 is a base hit into right field.
Inside out swing. Nicely done.
Here's Daniel Descalso, grounded out. First time up, he's 0 for 1. Innings are really beginning to pile up for Adam Wainwright as Descalso picks up a base hit into right. Freese stops at second. Worth a very good arm. It's now over 233 for Adam Wainwright this year, with one more start to go.
Been back and forth with Clayton Kershaw for the most innings in the National League. Wainwright has gone to throwing less during his bullpen sessions between starts and doesn't really show too many signs of being tired from what I've seen. Seven 2/3 in his last outing in Colorado. A lot of that has to do with how efficient you are with both your mechanics and with your pitch count during a game.
By the way, we want to make sure and get that word out on the Ozzie Smith concert and fundraiser. It's the Ozzie and Friends concert. That's September 28th. It all benefits the Gateway PGA Foundation. His son is a part of that. Number of celebrities, so make sure you find out more.
Nico's terrific.
1-0 pitch to Shane Robinson. Here it comes. Runners at first and second with one out.
You've mentioned this outfield with Denard Span in center field. Harper's moved to left. We'll look at that last delivery right at the bottom of the zone. Good call. You've got a pretty good outfield when you've got Bryce Harper playing left.
Remember, he was shifted to center. He's also played right. 2-1 pitch. Robinson fights it off. Little flare into right. This may drop. It does. It's fair. Here comes Freese. And we are tied. It's 2-2. Robinson fights it off a base hit into right. And it's a 2-2 game.
I think it's pretty clear that Roark likes to jam hitters. He does it again, but it ends up as a base hit, just barely fair. David Freese does a nice job of reading that well. He checks the ball, then he checks Worth, sees that too much ground for Worth to cover to make that play, so he takes off and scores. Good base running by David Freese, and an RBI for Shane Robinson.
Remember, Adam Wainwright in his previous start, 3 hits. He was 3 for 3. We know he can handle the bat well. The Cardinals have not squeezed in an awfully long time. That's something to think about. Wainwright, guy that can help his own cause, struck out swinging back in the second. Runners at first and third with one out. Outfield awfully shallow. Showing bunt. Avoided it. Gets the bunt down. Advancing on the play. Robinson to second. Sacrifice is good. There's the folks at Big Mac Land. McDonald's has topped the quarter pounder. Bacon Habanero Ranch, the BLT, the deluxe, and the bacon and cheese. 4 more quarter pounders to love only at McDonald's.
I have the answer, by the way, as to how Major League Baseball is going to handle it if there's a 3-way tie for the division. Jim Hayes brought me that information. I have the definitive answer.
You trust it?
I trust it, and I'm not going to tell you.
Go ahead and tell the audience. I won't listen.
I might tell you next inning.
68 pitches on the night for the right-hander. Boy, I can't wait.
Just trying to pique your curiosity a little bit.
Sacrifice for Wainwright, his 9th. He's still behind the team leader, which is Lance Lynn with 11. Here is Carpenter. He's driven in 77. Pulls it back for ball 1.
Carpenter showing bunt there. Zimmerman, again, a Gold Glover at third, has had his issues throwing. Last time the Cardinals saw him, it was hard to watch Zimmerman throw across the diamond, but he seems to have corrected it, as we mentioned.
However, Rick, on those balls that are the ones that you come in on and really you don't have to think, so to speak, not the routine plays, he makes those.
Agreed.
Seems like 99 out of 100, and it's a throw that's right at the chest of the first baseman. It's the ones that are routine, they say, that have been difficult for him. 1-1 pitch. Strike two. 1-2 on Carpenter.
Really play him to pull up the middle. The shortstop Desmond, now he takes a step to his right. Big opportunity for Matt Carpenter.
Check swing taken inside and low. 2-2.
Really does not seem to mind hitting with 2 strikes. And he loves to hit with runners in scoring position. Season series. Cardinals 9 for 31 wrist.
2-2 pitch. Carpenter fights it off. Any way you want to break it down, a remarkable season for Matt Carpenter. Cardinals ranks among leadoff hitters in 74. He's already scored a run tonight, up to 124. A base hit puts the Cardinals on top for the first time. The 2-2. On the inside corner, strikeout of Carpenter. 2 in the inning. The Cardinals pick up 3 consecutive hits. RBI by Sugar Shane. Busch Stadium in St. Louis. It's Ramos, Rendon, and Roark. 7, 8, and 9, bottom of the lineup to face Adam Wainwright. Outside the first inning, Adam Wainwright very good tonight.
Got the double play to end the 4th inning. Minor trouble there, but really has pitched very well. I think the curveball's gotten sharper.
Definitely. He was spinning it a little bit in that first inning, wasn't he?
And the other pitch that he occasionally has trouble with is the cutter. And I say trouble, really anybody does. If you throw a bad cutter, it just kind of floats up there. And he threw a couple of those, but for the most part, he's gotten locked in. 70 pitches, working in the 5th.
Wainwright, last time that he saw Washington here at Busch Stadium, it was part of the division series, game 1. 5 2/3 and struck out 10. He made the start in game 5. That epic comeback by St. Louis.
What a game that was.
Unbelievable. Base hit into right past the diving Carpenter. And over to get it. Beltran bobbled it just a bit. And there's a good example of the field and how quickly this may play now with the new grass in here.
No question. That looked like AstroTurf there. That ball really scooted on Beltran.
Nightly on Fox Sports Live, you can join Jay Onright and Dan O'Toole along with Donovan McNabb, Andy Roddick, Larissa Thompson. They'll bring you all the scores, news, and highlights. Fox Sports 1. Here's Rendon, who was called out on strikes. Wainwright, who struck out 2. The Cardinals have turned 1 double play.
The outfield is faster. The outfielders need to play deeper. That's just the reaction you have to make. You have to understand what's going on. I think Beltran was deep enough there that he could take a route and get to that ball quickly enough. Get the other way by Ramos, and it just was flying into that right center field gap, and he was able to keep it from going to the wall. And since you've been begging me, I will tell you what the answer is, Dan, on the tiebreaker. If the Reds, the Pirates, and the Cardinals finish tied in the Central Division, there will be a playoff. All 3 of them obviously will have to play, and the way they'll do it is the team with the best head-to-head record will get the choice of whether to take a bye in the first round and then play on the road, which most teams would do. And at this point, the Cardinals, by the way, have the best head-to-head record combined with the Pirates and the Reds. And the other 2 teams would play first, and then you play the winner of that game for the division title.
So essentially, you're saying take a bye and then finish up on the road.
Correct.
Well, that makes sense to me. It's kind of a no-brainer, isn't it?
Rather win 1 game, no matter where you are, no question. But at this point, the Cardinals are 20-18 combined against Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. Now, Pittsburgh and Cincinnati will play each other again. And Pittsburgh is 18-17. Cincinnati's 16-19 against the other 2 combined. And again, not a likely scenario that this would happen, but it's possible. The Cardinals just 2 games up on both teams, and obviously when Cincinnati and Pittsburgh play over the weekend, somebody's going to lose in every one of those games. But if the Cardinals struggle here in this series against the Nationals, it's a very real possibility.
Here's the 0-1 pitch to Roark. 0-2 with 1 down and a runner at first. Base hit to right by Ramos. Rendon, the fly out to left. And now it's the pitcher, Tanner Roark.
I may be proven wrong, but I'm expecting 3 games just like this in this series. Good starting pitching, close games. Fundamentals will matter, like moving runners. Roark has that opportunity here.
Freeze charging down at third. The 0-2 is taken in the dirt. Like I said before, I think it's a positive that you still have things on the line. Now you have the fallback of being in the playoffs. You know that. But home field advantage, winning that division championship. You keep your edge. There's something to play for. Wainwright will step and throw to first, gets the easy out. Sacrifice is good. Single game tickets on sale now. Wild card and National League Division Series playoff games. So don't miss a chance to cheer on the Cardinals to their 12th World Championship. Those tickets are available right now as we speak at Cardinals.com. Cardinals.com. $7 seats for tomorrow and again on Wednesday, courtesy of Papa John's. Cardinals.com/Papa John's. And it's a day game this Wednesday. Back to a weekday day game. Here's Denard Span, who is 1 for 2. Singled down the third base line to start the game and scored on the 2-run homer by Worth back in the first. Blocked again by Yachty. One ball, one strike with a runner at second base. Big gap in right center. Broken bat hit to the right side. Adams is there. Flips to Waino. Wainwright is sharp after that first inning. Tomorrow at 6:30. Last 5 starts, Michael Wacha 1-1 with a 2.03 ERA. Very good at home, and we saw it his last time out against the Rockies. Struggled in that start, really couldn't get the ball down. Remember in that day game, but to his credit, stuck in there and gave the Cardinals a chance.
Wacha's intriguing to me when you start thinking about postseason. He has the ability to both start and relieve, and when he's good, he's really, really good. And when he's off, it is a little frustrating because he's not real sharp with his curveball when he's off, and he's up in the zone, as you mentioned, and yet he is such a prized prospect for the Cardinals going forward. Look at the youth there in that conversation.
And the talent.
Youth and talent, all 3 of them, 95 miles an hour, and teammates.
So again, the Cardinals trying to get that best overall mark. And Milwaukee has already posted that win, 5-0. Estrada defeated Minor. One pitch to Jay is taken in. You know, you give, and rightfully so, the Cardinals a lot of credit dealing with the major injuries that they have had. You start breaking down that season of the Atlanta Braves, it mirrors what St. Louis has done. B.J. Upton is tanked. Justin, his brother, has slowed down considerably. Hudson, the ankle injury. McCann was on the DL in the first month of the season. Hayward out with a jaw, and the list goes on and on.
Well, let me add to that list the two left-handers in your bullpen who were the best two left-handers in the National League combined, and both of them out.
Venters and O'Flaherty. Oh, by the way, Chipper Jones retired. He's only going to the Hall of Fame. But the replacement has been very good. There's a slip out left by Bryce Harper on that new turf. Beltran singled up the middle. It's been stuck on 23 home runs for a while. That's my way of saying, Rick, that he's due.
Thought you were going there.
Let's say 1, maybe 2 on this homestand for Carlos to get to 25 on the year.
Yeah, he came close once or twice on this road trip on balls that were in on him just a tad. But decent swings.
Talk about the innings piling up for Adam Wainwright. The games and the innings are piling up for Beltran. Dealing with the sore knees. Wears a big brace on his knee. Covered up by the uniform.
Well, they're guys you'd like to get a break every once in a while. Beltran's one of them. Molina's one of them. But with Alan Craig out and Matt Holliday now dealing with back spasms, you don't want to sit either of those two guys. They got to go.
Watch out here on 2-0. The next two, Carlos taken in. 3 balls and no strikes. Kind of situation right now you'd love to see him turn loose on 3-0, and I'm sure he's got that green light. Most of the time the veterans do.
Be surprised if he didn't.
3-1. Very deep for Beltran. 3-1 pitch. And Beltran hits it a ton. Right field at the track. It's a ball. He's not due any longer. Launches one into the bullpen. 2-run shot. And the Cardinals go on top for the first time tonight.
.358 for his career.
It has been a pleasure to watch this man play in St. Louis.
Timing very good. Last week of the season, pennant chase. Holiday out.
Very popular player among his teammates, the fan base. Cardinals on top.
Tried to get in on him. Into the bullpen. How about that little celebration in the bullpen?
Adams a base hit on the right. Update from Cincinnati. Let's check in with Pat Paris and a Bomberito Sports Update. All right, thank you. Cardinals on top for the first time, 4-2.
Cincinnati now has Johnny Cueto in the mix, pitching well. Sean Marshall, as Pat said, getting the job done out of the bullpen. This Reds team, I'm not sure I'd want to play them in the playoffs. I know the Cardinals have played well against Cincinnati this year. I know they're not a perfect team, but They play with a lot of emotion. Jay Bruce having a big year, and now you get a couple of arms back. I'm not sure I'd want to play.
First home run since August 24th against Atlanta. So a span of 24 games for Carlos.
What took you so long to say he was due? Where you been?
I will admit, I'm on fire right now with predictions. I mean, this is my 16th year, Rick, and I've had more predictions come true here in the last 2 weeks than I've had in 16 years. You and I, next Monday night, Vegas bound.
I like it.
I'll buy it. I got a feeling we're going to win. Here's Yadier Molina.
Well, if you make enough of them, one of them's bound to come true. Like you know I do every time I get to a par 3, what do I say?
Really hitting this well.
And I'm going to get my first hole in one.
Yeah, and I mean, I can't believe you hit the driver that well on a par 3.
One of these days I'm going to be right. I'm going to say I predicted it.
I need to come clean. You're an outstanding golfer.
Thank you, Dan. Just the way I wanted you to say that.
And Yanni yanks it down the left field line, and it's just foul.
Well, one of the things we talked about in the keys to this game is to figure out this right-hander. Why is he so good? Why are teams not hitting him? And how do we counteract that? I think the Cardinals have seen that he likes to jam hitters. They're starting to look for the ball in a little bit more. Carlos Beltran got a ball in, but still got the bat head out.
Got the bat head out and the entire bat out.
And that's because he went away. Now he makes an adjustment. That's baseball for you.
Charter high-speed pitch of the night. Roark has hit 94, Wainwright 94. So as you watch this Washington right-hander, really nothing stands out that you say, oh my goodness, this is why he's been so good. But I think you've pointed it out correctly. Poise. Nothing's really been left over the middle of the plate for the most part. Change of speeds. He's got strikes.
He's got that attitude, which of course is a word they like to use in Washington for their team. Not sure who came up with that, what marketing guru came up with it, but that's part of their fan mantra. But he does have a good attitude on the mound. He just looks confident, capable, kind of unfazed.
Here's an 0-2 pitch. Misses outside to David Freese. Freese singled and scored. Back in the fourth. Dan, Rick, Jim with you. 67 degrees. We're at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. The 1-2 to Freese.
Roark has given up 4 starts worth of runs for him already. 1.08 ERA.
2-2. They want to go inside on this 2-2. David chops it towards third, out at second, and the double play is turned. However, Carlos Beltran. First home run in 24 games. And Beltran now with 24 this season. He's up to 84 RBIs. A high, towering shot into the Cardinal bullpen. After 5, Cardinals on top. You like the ring to that, don't you? The official spring training package, Cardinals.com/spring travel. Put together a very nice spring training package. Just saw Beltran acknowledge the fans in right. I've actually talked to Carlos about that. He said the fans have been remarkably gracious to both he and his wife and his entire family. And he said actually he's developed a relationship with some of the fans out there. One of them happened to be from his hometown in Puerto Rico that was relocated here to St. Louis.
How about that?
And he said he was screaming at him to turn around and finally got his attention. And then he said it was the best experience he had had because Carlos, speaking Spanish, talking to the gentleman out there speaking Spanish, invited him back to the ball game, got him down on the field, had a chance to visit. They had mutual friends from back home.
Outstanding.
I'm sure you had that in the bullpen at Busch Stadium. You get used to some of the season ticket holders, but many of the fans that come to the ballpark.
Well, you're friends with them, especially when we had the bullpens down the right field line. By the way, you've just given about 500,000 people an idea to go out into the right field bleachers and pretend that they're from Puerto Rico to see if they can get tickets and get to meet Carlos. Hola, hola, ¿cómo está? I'm from where you are, wherever that is.
I'll figure it out. Where should I be tomorrow?
Danny Mac sent me.
Where do I get my tickets? Ryan Zimmerman 0 for 2.
You think I'm kidding?
Oh, no. I know. 1-2 pitch. Got him on the outside corner. The cutter. Strikeout number 3 for Adam Wainwright. Replay brought to you by Hyundai.
Zimmerman doesn't like the call. It's a cutter. Looked pretty good to me. Yachty frames it well. Well, the first time I went to New York, I had a fan yelling at me my rookie year. He said, "Hey, Horton, you're from New York. You're a great player. I know where you're from. I know exactly. I know your family. I know your cousins. I know what high school you went to." He says, "You're my favorite player. You're great. You're awesome." And he said, "Can I have a ball?" And I said, "No, I'm sorry, I can't give you one." And he said, "You're a bum. I hate you. I've always hated you."
Where's pitcher?
The guy turned on me.
Got to help him out. That's in on the hands of Jason Worth. Now, the guys in the truck are telling me that it's the worst New York accent they have heard, yet you are truly from New York.
Yes, exactly. And that's what made this so bad. The guy was from Brooklyn that was saying it, so clearly not from where I was from.
No.
But he was trying to work it a little.
The shot of Jason Worth up on the video board.
Makes me think of Frank DiPino, too. Every time a fan would ask him for a ball, he'd say, hey, can I have a ball? And Frank would say, yeah, you can have all the fun you want. That was his standard line.
You ever seen the movie Teen Wolf?
I really hate to answer that question in the affirmative, but yes. There it is.
Quite the look. Michael J. Fox would be proud. That's hit out of play. Back-to-back Ks. Four tonight for Adam Wainwright.
The good ones get stronger. You get them some runs, they get better. Wainwright strikes out Zimmerman and Worth, two very hot hitters in the month of September. Good innings so far.
Here's Bryce Harper, who is 1 for 2. The Boston Red Sox have all those big beards like Jason Worth. That's caught on in their city.
Don't love the look, but I get the camaraderie part.
I'm just jealous.
Yeah, maybe there's a little of that too. Question going forward in this game as Wainwright is about ready to deliver his 95th pitch. Assuming that Wainwright can go 7 innings and maybe a little bit more than that, depends on pitch count that he has next inning. But if Wainwright, let's say, pitches 7 innings, who pitches the 8th and who pitches the 9th? That's kind of an evolving question for the Cardinals at this point.
Probably their biggest question.
And as Mike Matheny has said, it is a fluid situation. And we're just going to take it day by day. Who's the closer? Who pitches the 8th? Who pitches the 9th?
1 and 2.
And every time you press him on that and look for kind of a definitive answer, he just says, well, you know the usual suspects, who that might be. I mean, it could be Segrist. It could be Rosenthal. I think both logical choices depending upon the matchups. They're trying to get some extended rest, if possible, for Edward Mujica. Cardinals wouldn't be here where they are without Edward Mujica. But he's not in a good stretch right now. And Mike believes he's got to try something different. And we'll just see what that is when it happens.
A 2-2 pitch. It's sharply to second. Carpenter. 1-2-3 inning. Couple of Ks, 4 tonight for Adam Wainwright. Midway through 6, Cardinals lead it. Head and Shoulders our whiff package from Waino.
Wainwright struggled the first inning on a couple of his breaking pitches, but he's got it figured out big time. A sharp break on both the cutter and the curveball. And he gets Jason Worth with a fastball as well, up and away. Wainwright sharp since that first, and he has allowed just 3 hits since the Worth home run.
Abad takes over. A lefty that we saw with the Houston Astros. Our Chevy called to the pen, his 38th appearance this year.
They also have Xavier Cedeno in their bullpen from the left side, who I believe also played with the Astros. 3 lefties and 7 right-handers, but their right-handers are terrific. Drew Storen, who they actually sent out a bit this year because he was struggling so badly, but he's back on track. Tyler Clippard is their 8th inning guy, and Rafael Soriano as the 9th.
0-2 the count. You get to this time of year, and Descalso is 1 for 2, and you start thinking about some of the personal achievements and accomplishments around Major League Baseball as Daniel puts it in play. Little flare out to left, and going to get it, Ian Desmond. One of those, Rick, is Max Scherzer. Win number 20 on his 5th try. And for those that still debate as to whether or not he should get the Cy Young, I know you're a big believer in this, and it sounds crazy, but wins actually do mean something.
Yeah.
And for some people, they talk about the fact that, you know, you start breaking down the sabermetrics of the season that he has had. That's out to right center off the bat of Shane Robinson. 2 away. Winning percentage is the 6th best all time among 20 game winners. Max Scherzer is 20-3. The best all time, by the way, Ron Guidry was 25-3. So congratulations to the St. Louisan and Mizzou grad Max Scherzer. There you go. Vince Coleman, 57%.
I'm so pleasantly surprised by that. Vince would have been my vote, 57%. David Eckstein, you thought we'd get a lot of votes, and he did.
Wainwright, a base hit into center field.
Remembering the 80s, I love it. As you mentioned, Wainwright's been swinging the bat well of late. He turns this pitch around. Watch out.
Wow.
The reaction happened after the ball got past Abad.
Carpenter, a base hit into right. He struck out looking with 2 runners on back in the 4th to end that inning. He is lined out, now walked and scored to go along with that base hit. It's another hit off a lefty for Matt Carpenter. Here's John Jay with runners at 1st and 2nd. 2 outs here in the home half of the 6th. Jay has lined out to left, grounded out to short, singled and scored on the 2-run homer by Beltran, the difference in this game.
Carpenter, the last Cardinal to get a hit today. Everybody in the lineup with at least 1 base hit, including John Jay, who singled and scored in the 5th. Can't get much more balance than that.
0-2. Most hits at home since 1946. That's updated. Carpenter at 110. Those are lefties that we're talking about, and he's closing in again on Stan the Man. Matt Carpenter came into play tonight. His average at home, 376. And again, Stan did it twice with 112 hits. at home. A check swing, and he did not go. 2-2. A 2-2 pitch. He stays away. Beltran is on deck. Rick, take me inside this conversation. Beltran, who's already homered tonight, on deck. You have 3-2 with a guy that struggles against lefties. What's he telling Abad?
Well, I think he's trying to get him just be confident enough to throw a strike right here. I don't think you can do anything other than just go right at John Jay and make him beat you. Beltran, power from both sides. You don't want this game to get away from you if you are the Nationals. So you need a strike here. Calm them down. Throw it down central. See what happens.
Abad got the first two. Descalso and Robinson. Then a single by Wainwright up the middle. That's now 14 hits for Adam Wainwright this season. Second most in the National League behind Zach Greinke. A single by Carpenter to right. Runners at first and second. It's another 3-2 delivery. We'll do it again.
I find something at work at times with pitchers to where they tried to get him with his breaking ball. That's what he wanted to get him out with. And when he missed with it twice, he gets to a 3-2 count, and now you're afraid to throw it. You realize you have to throw a fastball. The catcher has to remind you that you can get him out with a fastball too. Just because that's your second pitch doesn't mean you can't get him out with it. That's 3 fastballs in a row on 3-2 counts. Eight pitch at bat.
A 3-2. Jay shoots it into left center. Span on the move and makes the catch. His good speed. He was playing in and just a bit towards left center. Situation. Melanson has had his issues here the last 2 weeks.
3 or 4 games where he struggled. I saw they used Grilly at one point in the 9th inning. And Melanson, who's just been terrific for the Pirates, showing maybe some wear and tear, and that does not bode well for Pittsburgh. I wouldn't call them deep on the right side of their bullpen. They do have a couple of good left-handers.
Close to 40,000 here tonight. We'll get the official attendance hopefully this inning. Nice crowd on a Monday night in late September. School back in session. And yet the fans just keep on coming out. What a year it's been. Cardinals will draw close to 3.4 million in attendance. They will finish second overall behind the LA Dodgers in all of Major League Baseball. And they're averaging over 42,000 a night. First pitch by Wainwright is taken for a strike. Ian Desmond at the plate. Wainwright at 99 pitches thus far. Desmond has singled to left and grounded out.
Nationals lost the first game of their doubleheader yesterday. That assured the Cardinals of a playoff berth and was a nice birthday present for Mike Matheny, Cardinal manager. The team had a big dinner on Saturday night in Milwaukee.
Fly ball into right. Catch made by Beltran.
And they celebrated a bit yesterday. Really just kind of had a group conversation about just how important it is to be a playoff team. Mike Matheny was saying that he didn't want his team to take that for granted. He didn't want it to just pass by without realizing how important an accomplishment that is to be a playoff bound team. Didn't want to go crazy over it, but needed to be acknowledged.
One out, nobody on for LaRoche. Chris Carpenter has been on the road trips with us. His future very uncertain. One ball, one strike. Matheny, by the way, and we talked about this during the Open, the 8th manager in Major League history to lead his team into the playoffs. His first 2 seasons at the helm ever of Major League managing. There's only been 3 that have done it in the National League. There's an off-speed pitch. The last to do it overall, Minnesota, Ron Gardenhire. Here's a 1-2. Curveball and struck him out. 5 strikeouts for Waino. Catch all the action of the 2013 Major League Baseball postseason on Fox TBS MLB Network starting October 1st. Which begs the question, thinking about the start of when the Cardinals do begin their postseason. Adam Wainwright, depending if you want to mix in the off day and push him back or skip somebody, whatever the case may be, but you're looking at one more start. You wouldn't think, Rick, that you're talking about a guy that would go very deep into a game, but keep him in line with what he's been used to. We'll talk about that when we come back. Waino sharp here tonight. 11 hits tonight for the Cardinals, including a long home run hit by Carlos Beltran. This broke a 2-2 game. That shot into right. The Nissan drive of the game off the bat of Carlos Beltran. Cincinnati and New York tied up at 2-2 in their ball game, and Ryan Ludwig a chance to win it with only one out. Runners at the corners for Cincinnati in the bottom of the ninth. Talk of Terry Collins being re-upped with an extension for the Mets. Dealt with injuries all season long. Ludwig, by the way, popped out in his chance to win it, so stays 2-2 with 2 outs in the ninth. We'll keep you updated with that game. Here's Carlos Beltran against Abad.
Wainwright with that strikeout of Adam LaRoche now has set a single season high, 214 strikeouts. Struck out 213 in 2010, 212 the year before. So remarkably consistent. Wainwright's back.
1-2 on Beltran. You think in 2009, Rick, he finished third for the Cy Young, second for the award in 2010, out in 11. Last year, his first full season back, and this year, close to a 20-game winner before it's all said and done.
Well, Wainwright, if you gave him the extra day with the off day, would be scheduled to pitch the finale on Sunday against the Cubs. You could have him pitch Saturday, which would be his normal rest, and skip a starter.
Popped up, foul territory. LaRoche makes the catch.
And if Wainwright were to pitch on Saturday, he would be in line for his normal day for game 1 of the NLDS, which is on Thursday. Now, that's assuming the Cardinals win the division. That's assuming a lot of things. But I would say it makes sense to set Wainwright kind of in pencil after this start, no matter where this goes, of using him again on Saturday, so he would be ready for game 1. Which would also put him in line for game 5 of the NLDS if needed. And that's way ahead, but you've got to think that way when you start.
You have to be thinking about that right now.
There's no question. Cardinals may not divulge all of that at this point because they don't want to get ahead of themselves, and they shouldn't. And they have to think about first things first, which is beating the Nationals today and keeping pace with Cincinnati and Pittsburgh.
2-1 on Adams. Crowd tonight 39,783. 39783. Two and two with 1 out, nobody on for Matt Adams. Adams tonight, a single up the middle back in the first inning. Lined out to left. And a single to right. Hit to LaRoche. He'll take it himself. Steps on the bag. 2 outs. A reminder, it's Toyota Cardinals Live, and it's postseason moment number 5 tomorrow. Pre-game show at 6:30. Nationals and Cardinals tomorrow night at 7. If the Nationals lose this ball game tonight, they have to win out. And then hope for a lot of losses along the way from Pittsburgh or Cincinnati.
Not likely.
Here's Yadier Molina.
We talk a lot about magic numbers. They have an elimination number, and theirs is 2. So any combination of either losses by them or wins by the teams that they're chasing cuts into the elimination number, and again, there's at 2 right now.
No one throwing for the Cardinals in the pen.
106 pitches. for Wainwright.
The 2-1. It's sharply to third, taken there by Zimmerman, and he makes the play. Wainwright back out for the top of the 8th when we come back. On our postgame show coming up, this copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Cardinals that may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. It's gotten a little chilly here at the ballpark. Very pleasant night, though, close to 40,000, as Wainwright is pitching into the 8th inning. He will get Rendon. Then we'll see a pinch hitter and the top of the lineup. Pitch number 107 is taken for a strike. Rendon is 0 for 2.
Randy Choate and Carlos Martinez are getting loose in the Cardinals pen.
Interesting choices there.
Agreed.
My guess is, and this is only a guess, Rick, is that if you have Segrist or Rosenthal, ideally, those are your late inning choices when you have high leverage, but this is pretty high leverage here.
Pretty late, too.
Yeah.
Doesn't get much later.
Martinez picked up a key 3 outs in that series against Milwaukee and a come from behind win.
Sure did. He looked good in that game, too. Got a live arm. Certainly brings passion to the mound.
Here's a 1-2 from Adam Wainwright. Up the middle. Tying run will come to the plate. First base hit since Ramos back in the 5th inning for Washington. Steve Lombardozzi will be the pinch hitter for Washington. He is a switch hitter, been their top pinch hitter in terms of plate appearances, and on the season he's 12 for 42, 1 home run, 1 RBI. From this side of the plate, he's hitting .256 From the right side, he's at 257. Cardinals turn to double play 4-6-3 back in the fourth. Outfield deep straight away, especially deep in right. Gets down the bunt. Wainwright, no play as he slips. I don't think he would have gotten him either. First two have reached.
Perfect bunt. Really good opportunity to do that, too, because you can at least move the runner over and you can hope for more, as that bunt was perfectly laid down the third baseline. And Wainwright charged it hard. And I think if he picks that up and throws, he still doesn't have time to get Lombardozzi.
This will be it for Waino as we head to a timeout. Bud Light, the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. And by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. First two have reached, and Randy Choate comes in with two on, nobody out. Denard Span at the top of the lineup here for Washington. Things just got a whole lot more interesting in this ball game. And Span trying to bunt his way on.
Cardinals do not have Seth Maness getting loose right now. I think primarily because he threw 3 days in a row on the road trip. I think they're trying to give him a couple of days. Mujica, same deal. So Choate and Martinez are the relievers of choice here in the 8th inning. That's how the Cardinals will defend Denard Span. Runs well. Probably the only batter we'll see Choate face. Then you've got the tough righties in Zimmerman and Wirth.
1 ball and 1 strike. And Carlos Martinez getting loose. Normally you're talking about 8th inning Trevor Rosenthal. Maybe Rosenthal is going to be your closer, saving Segrist again for more lefties potentially in this game. I'm not sure I mind seeing him face lefties, righties, anybody. Span gets the bunt down, 1 away. Tying runs in scoring position. Brings in Zimmerman. Here comes Mike Matheny. And he is going to go to the young fireballer, Carlos Martinez. Arguably the toughest test of his young major league career is coming up. Friday night, come into a high leverage situation in that ball game at Miller Park, and little help from Yachty, and all of a sudden Martinez was on his way.
Well, you need to get some help from your catcher. When you've got a guy like Yachty or Molina, there are times where you just have to listen to him. And Yachty, when you've got the right words to say, sometimes you just have to be very clear about what you want, very direct. I love the fact that Carlos Martinez was looking him in the eye, and then at the end you get the hug and everybody's happy. And that's exactly what you need from your catcher, is the right words said clearly and strongly when you're in the middle of competition.
And a ground ball. That is hit to short. Run scores. Nice pick by Adams. That makes it 4-3. 2 away. Segrist begins to throw in the Cardinal bullpen.
Hey, that way, kid.
So one pitch, one out, the RBI for Zimmerman. Now it's 78.
You have a sacrifice bunt where everybody's happy. Nationals are happy, move the runners over. The Cardinals are happy because you get an out. Then you get a ground ball to short, everybody's happy. Nationals score a run, but the Cardinals get an out. So it's kind of like they're ties almost. And the key, obviously, to this inning is this at-bat right here. After 2 hits to start the inning, you know you're probably going to give up a run. You just don't want to give up more than that.
Here's the 0-1. Ground ball. Backhanded by Freese. Nice work, Carlos Martinez. Nice work by Carlos Martinez. Mike Matheny may be finding out a little bit more about his young right-hander here in the final week of this regular season.
Again, a lot of time between now and then as we look at our Chevy call to the bullpen. Ryan Matthews, right-handed reliever. Game number 36 for him. Not been as good as we saw him a year ago. But again, a very good bullpen in total by the Nationals, especially from the right side. And Molina and Carlos still talking. Great job by Martinez getting 2 ground balls, a couple of tough hitters. And as we start thinking, as we said, Dan, plenty of time between now and then, but the playoff rosters, I mean, there's decisions to be made and jobs to be earned.
David Freese, little tapper towards short, gloved by Ian Desmond. Freese 1 for 4 on the night. It's also riding that hot hand, isn't it, Rick? I mean, anymore when you look at postseason play and all the rounds that you have to get through, ride the hot hand. And if Carlos Martinez gets hot, stay with him.
Well, hot becomes more important than the full body of work in some ways.
Sure it does.
You say, okay, hey, this guy was really good in April, May, and June. You'd say, well, thank you. We wouldn't be here otherwise, but who do we want pitching with the tying run at second base in an October game against the Dodgers or the Reds or the Pirates or the Braves? Not going to be easy decisions, clearly, going forward. Again, the Cardinals will be in the playoffs one way or the other, so they're going to have to start thinking playoff roster, but just where they'll be is yet to be determined.
2-1. After this batter, Daniel Descalso will have an update with Pat Paris. What's happened in Chicago with Pittsburgh. Hit to short, Desmond. 2 away, and let's check in with Pat Paris. All right, thank you. And here is Shane Robinson. What a crazy ending there. Pirates 2-1 winners. Marte and Walker with home runs. And a chance to MC the Cardinals Care function tonight, Rick. And it's the 10th year celebration anniversary of Redbird Rookies, which is the league that the team puts on through Cardinals Care. Really a neat night. Lucretia Payne was there, Bonnie Paris, Michael Hall, Keith Brooks, all of Cardinals Care, which is raised and donated right back to the community, over $21 million now.
Outstanding.
And a lot of the corporate sponsors that help out with that program give kids a chance to play baseball that normally would not have that opportunity. And over 20 fields have been built. The names of many of the players, their donations. But over 4,000 kids every summer take part in that now, and it's so much more than what happens just playing baseball. But the kids are taken with health screenings and book readings, cultural arts, all the various things that go into that league. So they are to be congratulated. 10 years, Redbird Rookies. Nicely done. Sends us to the 9th. It's 4-3. St. Louis on top.
post-game edition of Missouri Lottery Cardinals Live. Pat Paris and Al Raboski are standing by. Adam Wainwright settles in and shuts down the nets. They'll break down his night. Carlos Beltran heats up. They'll look at his evening as well. Plus, we'll get Mike Matheny's post-game thoughts as well. Dan and Rick, we're wondering who's going to pitch tonight. It's Kevin Siegrist.
Intrigue here, Jim, no doubt about it. Siegrist has been sensational this year. And he'll try to get the final 3 outs with the Cardinals leading by the score of 4-3. Now behind him, Rosenthal has been throwing on the mound in the bullpen. Just got on the mound, so he had just been tossing out there. I think so lightly, and now he's starting to amp it up.
I think he goes along with him, and you get to Wilson Ramos, then you bring him in, but you give lefty, then a right-hander Desmond, and then another lefty in LaRoche. You give those 3 to Siegrist and see if he can get him 1, 2, 3. That's the situational part and the fluid part that Mike Matheny's dealing with.
This will help. First pitch, 1 away. Let's check in again with Pat Paris. All right, here comes Trevor Rosenthal. Thank you, Pat. Rosenthal will come in, try to get the final 2 outs. Siegrist, 1 pitch, gets Bryce Harper. A 4-3 lead for St. Louis here in the top of the 9th with 1 out. Chevy called to the pen.
Trevor Rosenthal, outstanding season, 70 games, over 100 strikeouts out of the Cardinals bullpen. He's been the solid 8th inning guy.
You certainly could see that Mike Matheny, if he kept in Siegrist, I don't think many would have had a problem with that at all with his success he's had against lefties and righties. And you have a lefty on deck with good power in LaRoche. Well, first pitch by Rosenthal, a strike.
Well, you're really deciding is would you rather let Siegrist pitch to a right-hander in Desmond, who has 20 home runs, or would you rather have Rosenthal pitch to LaRoche, who has 20 home runs? And which of those is much more dangerous to you? And Mike Matheny's made his choice.
Oh, 1-2 on Desmond. Trevor Rosenthal, the Nationals saw him last year. 3 games of the division series, 3 1/3, 1 hit. .091 average against. Goodbye. Struck him out, and there's 2 down. The Nationals down to their final out tonight. Player of the game, Carlos Beltran. The difference tonight, a 2-run shot that was back in the 5th. Budweiser player of the game. They're on their feet. 39,000 plus here at Busch Stadium. Strike 1 on LaRoche. Rosenthal pumping strikes. He's 0 for 3. LaRoche is against Trevor. One ball, 1 strike. LaRoche has popped out to third, grounded into a 4-6-3 double play, and struck out back in the 7th. 1-1 pitch. Little broken bat. A flare. Out to shallow left. Cosma is there. The Cardinals have win number 92.
Outstanding team victory for the Cardinals, and we talked about the fact that you're going to find out about some of these young relievers getting 8th and 9th inning opportunities, and they handled those opportunities very well here tonight. All 3 teams in the Central win tonight, but the Cardinals win Game 1 against the Nationals. Much more important.
Off to the postgame show. 4-3. St. Louis wins it.